Some shows talk about one team. Other shows barely talk sports. This show will talk Packers, Brewers, and Bucks every day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer, served up by Wendy's on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan. Download the Wendy's app today.
This is Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. My name is Mitch Nelles, a.k.a. Thunder, in for Steve Sparky Pfeiffer. Welcome into the 4 o'clock hour. And if you are following along at home, that means our YouTube link has changed. So go to The Fan Milwaukee, at The Fan Milwaukee, and all you got to do is click on live. And remember, each hour is posted separately, so the hour is there, and you can check that out. Charlie, I know on our rundown it says green and gold update, right?
Yes, correct.
And I believe you. And I do think we should do green and gold update. But we have some more Milwaukee Brewers breaking news.
More bad news?
That I think, not good news, that I think we need to dive into before we get to our green and gold update, if that's okay.
That's all right.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right.
That's okay.
So we already knew that Andy Ashby was named as the opener tonight. He is going to open for Eric Fetty, the most recently signed Milwaukee Brewer, who has played for the Cardinals and the Braves this year. Ashby is the hope, expectation is that he will work one time through the order. So I don't know if he goes 3 full innings or once he's through the order one time, he's done with 9 hitters. And then Eric Fetty is available for 80 to 90 pitches after that.
All right. That seems like an all right setup for me, at least. I think you give Fetty a little bit of a warm-up there.
It is because Quinn Priester has a minor right wrist issue.
Great.
He is tentatively scheduled to start Saturday in Toronto. So they're basically skipping a start. Giving him, that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, giving him 3 days off in addition to his normal rest. So instead of Quinn Priester pitching today, he's resting Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, tentatively scheduled to start Saturday in Toronto. I don't know if I've seen the full lineup today, and I know that Tommy does that on the leadoff show, but Sal Frelick is not playing today. He's just being given a rest day. Today is just a rest day for Frelick. Nothing to look into there. And then are you ready for some good news, Charlie?
I am. Let's hear it.
If all goes well at Nashville tonight,
Okay.
Jackson Chourio will join the Brewers in Toronto.
Let's go.
I mean, the team with the second most runs in all of Major League Baseball, adding Jackson Chourio into the top or middle of that lineup just sounds fantastic. So Quinn Priester, minor right issue, skipping a start, tentatively scheduled Saturday in Toronto. Sal Frelick, a day off. Jackson Chourio, if all goes well in Nashville tonight, he will join the Brewers in Toronto on Friday night. Aaron Ashby, scheduled to go. I think I said Andy before. That would be his uncle. Aaron Ashby will go one time through the order tonight as the opener. Eric Fetty will fill in from there with the ability to throw 80 to 90 pitches as he has been a starter for this entire season. He is 4-12 with an astronomical ERA that we don't want to talk about. And also, Trevor McGill has had flexor strains in the past, and he says this one doesn't feel nearly as bad. So he's on the 15-day injured list, and he feels like he just needs those 2 weeks and should be ready to go after that. So it's kind of a mixed bag there.
It could be worse. It could definitely be worse. I think right flexor strain is, again, not the worst injury you could be dealing with. Like he said, that could be something that he could get through easy here. He's felt worse. And getting Jackson Chourio back is always nice. Always gives you a little insurance for that pitching staff just in case they fall apart.
Absolutely. Do we intro green and gold update or do we just go into it? All right, let's hit it.
It's time for your green and gold update on Wisconsin Sports Daily, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer.
All right. It is your green and gold update, although the entire show's been the green and gold update because yesterday was cut day and today was sign everybody to the to the practice squad day. The biggest news of today: Nick Neiman, a special teams guru, last 4 years, 21, 22, 23, 24, 4 years on San Diego, was signed during the offseason by Houston, was released by Houston. The Packers signed him and released Micah Robinson. So that's kind of the big news. Also, Al Gersma and Clifford, neither of them are coming back. Clayton Tune, University of Houston quarterback, 5th round pick by the Arizona Cardinals in 2023. Clayton Tune will be the practice squad cornerback. Some news and notes from practice today. Well, Zane Anderson and Sorrell are both on the PUP or whatever, to injured reserve or whatever. They did not practice. In addition, Savion Williams and Nate Hobbs did not practice, but Jaden Reed and Dontavian Wicks, as well as Xavier McKinney, Aaron Banks, and Elton Jenkins, all did practice. So good news on Reed and Wicks. Obviously on McKinney, bad news, and I will highlight this and highlight this and highlight this. Still bad news on Hobbs. He's probably not scheduled to practice yet based on his offseason or his training camp procedure, but I'd sure like to see Hobbs out there. So we got that. Again, Micah Robinson released for Nick Neiman, linebacker. The Packers will now see if Micah Robinson gets through waivers. The Packers right now have 15 players on their 17-man practice squad. I'm trying to find, including 2 additions. Let's see. I don't have all the names here, but I do have, let's see what I got right here. Roster moves. I've got, not that one. Here we go. Israel Abanikanda, Deslin Alexander, Jonathan Baldwin, Brant Banks, James Esther, Nicole Hardman, Jamon Johnson, Mark McNamee, who's part of the NFL International Player Pathway Program. He's the kicker. Aaron Mosby, Isaiah Nair, Will Shepard, Jalen Simpson, Christian Welch. Many think that Welch may end up on the roster more often than not. A little interesting that Welch and Mosby, I think specifically, were not claimed by anybody else. It did not decide to go anywhere else. They stayed with the Packers. And as we talked about in the 2 o'clock hour of the show, when we looked at McCole Hardman, basically that is insurance for Reed and Wicks, who again were at practice today, but have missed numerous games during the preseason and numerous practices at training camp with injuries. McCole Hardman could fill in there. He could also fill in as a returner. And if he's on the team for the first game, he does get his full year salary as a vested veteran. So we'll keep our eye on that. 2 names I also want to note. Will Shepard, the wide receiver, is a name to the practice squad. I like Will Shepard a lot. I think there's something there. But another name that's not on that list is Justin Hicks. And I know that Andy and Tommy Wirtz from Pack-A-Day Radio both really like Justin Hicks. I don't know if he has landed somewhere else or if he's still a maybe, but I know that Justin Hicks is someone to keep an eye on. And is it Jordan Hicks?
Julian Hicks.
Julian Hicks. Justin Hicks is a golfer. I get names wrong all the time. Because I'm old and I've heard 700,000 more names than you have.
It's you and Tommy do it all, or you and Sparky do it all. See, I just did it there, so everybody does it, you know?
Yep. So Julian Hicks, I'm looking up. I don't see any news on him, at least on my Google machine. So we'll keep our eye on Julian Hicks and see what happens there. I know this isn't technically, Charlie, things you missed, because that's at 4:40, but did I miss any Packers news that stood out to you?
No, not really. I think, again, when just looking at guys going to other teams, like Kalen King we mentioned before, looks like he's going to be signing with the Panthers.
Yep.
That is a situation.
But that's it, right?
I think so. I don't think anybody else, as of right now, has made that jump from the Packers practice squad or this preseason roster to another roster, which you mentioned before seems a little strange for this Packers team. At the same time, it also kind of hasn't felt like there's been a lot of movement across the league with guys making those signings right away. It feels like that a lot of these teams are being a little bit more choosy with their practice squads right now, at least, and maybe waiting a little bit before they fill them out as much as they are. But what we're seeing from the Packers is that it's a lot of in-house guys that they've seen throughout the beginning of this preseason right now.
Yep.
It's not really giving opportunities to a lot of these other young guys that are getting cut. And I think that partially is because the Packers were already giving a ton of opportunities to UDFAs and guys that had been cut from teams prior to this that they don't really need to make those moves right now.
Right.
I wouldn't expect too much change to be happening with this Packers practice squad.
One more news and note that we should have mentioned right away. Jordan Love was a full participant for the first time since his thumb surgery, and that was 15 days ago. That was on the, I don't know, was it the 11th or the 12th, whatever it was, 12th, yep, so 15 days ago. Jordan Love was a full participant. I am interested to hear more about Jaden Reed and Dontavian Wicks specifically, as they were participants as well at practice. 11 days from opening night, and I'm that's exciting. Like NFL season. Charlie, how many fantasy leagues are you in, and how many drafts have you had so far?
I am in 3 fantasy leagues this year, and I haven't done any of them. All 3 of them are this weekend. So one of them, my girlfriend is doing. It's in her family's league, so I'm letting her draft the team, and then I'm gonna try to fix it as best as I can. I think she's going to do
good.
Pretty
Luck
good
with that.
We
luck with that.
We did a little crash course here, so she's going to go down for me while I'm at work, and she's going to do the draft. I think it'll be okay.
Nice. All right. Yeah, I'm sure it'll go great.
And the other 2, one's a dynasty league, so that's going to be a little bit different, and the other one is just a traditional league, so I'm going to have to draft pretty differently there. So I got a lot on my plate here, I think.
Are you really excited about Tommy DeVito being claimed by the Patriots and not a New York Giant anymore?
When Drake May is a bust because Caleb Williams is so much better, and everybody starts talking about Caleb Williams this season instead of a Drake May or Jaden Daniels, and Tommy DeVito gets a shot there. I mean, we saw it happen with Mac Jones. You have one good rookie season, then you fall apart in New England. I think that's what we're going to see.
Which are you more excited for? And we'll talk more about this, I think, over the next couple of days and next week. But Cowboys-Eagles to open the season on Thursday, or Chiefs-Chargers, who play the Friday night game in Sao Paulo, the Packer-Eagle redux from last week. Those are your opening games before opening day Sunday.
I think Kansas City, Los Angeles, I think I'm more excited for. Dallas,
it's San Diego. It's okay.
Okay, I'll go with
no,
San Diego.
I'm just kidding. You're right. It's LA.
I've gotten pretty good at not saying San Diego, so I don't want to put myself back into that hole here.
I will only ever say San Diego.
I just got out of calling the A's the Oakland A's, so that's something I've been pretty proud of.
Just the athletic. They are the athletic athletics.
Sacramento A's, if you will.
I mean, they play there, but they're not really. They're the athletic athletics.
But definitely Kansas City, LA is what I'm looking more forward to. With Dallas right now, I'm not surprised by anything that they're going to do. If they're going to be good, if they're going to be bad, that's just like kind of how I am with this Cowboys team right now. With Los Angeles, I think that's a team that could start making these next steps. And the Chiefs look like, despite being in the Super Bowl last year, that this may be finally the year that they start taking that step back as players get older. I want to see if the Chargers can come out and make some noise right away.
Interesting. Jane Slater at Slater NFL, reporter for the NFL Network, tweeted out or retweeted a tweet from the Big Cheese, which is a Packers account, but just a fan account. Jane Slater was told that Micah Parsons is in the airport today. He's going to get a second opinion on his back. The Cowboys are off until Friday. So Micah Parsons was spotted at the airport at Dallas-Fort Worth today, not boarding a plane for Green Bay, but boarding a plane for wherever, but getting a second opinion on his back, which he's been complaining about, but it doesn't sound like the Cowboys have taken seriously or paid attention to. So we'll keep our eye on that. Tommy the Machine Gun Wirtz has entered the building in serious need of a nap and of a root beer. And that was his face. That was all. Yeah, that was a jump scare for everybody on YouTube. That was awesome. When we come back, I know at the end of the show we'll do all the things we missed, but I have just some news and notes to go over before we get to that. and we're going to go over again just the full list of Milwaukee Brewers transactions, announcements, moves, and then I'm going to give Eric Fetty a call and see if I can get him on the show. No, I'm just kidding. How cool would that be? He's pitching tonight, and I just happen to have his number because I met him once 10 years ago. Didn't happen, but maybe I should have worked hard.
And
I should have worked harder.
About him the whole show too.
So I'll talk garbage to his face, and you know what? But he would probably say, "Listen, I pitched like garbage. I have pitched like garbage. Like, come on. When we're keeping it real, we're keeping it real." He's Charlie Hughes, my name's Mitch Nelles, a.k.a. Thunder. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. We are on the corner of 2nd and National because we're at Stenny's, where it's mac and cheese day. The buffalo chicken mac and cheese. Jack Peacock says it was really good. I would say the cheesesteak was fantastic. I'm just trying to make Charlie hungry at this point.
You've done it,
yeah. Special shout out to all our friends at Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea for having us out here. And just a reminder for everybody, like Charlie, who has 3 fantasy football drafts to go, that you can host your fantasy draft at Potawatomi, where if you book it, everybody gets 3 drink tickets. Each team in your league gets 3 drink tickets up to a 14-team league. It's a private room. You get the board, you get the podium, you get the stickers. There's TV screens up there. There's food, and it is like VIP all the way. So if you're still looking for a place to host that, the Potawatomi Sportsbook is where you should be going. You should make that happen ASAP. This is Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's here on 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan, free on the Odyssey app. And today we're at Stenny's on 2nd and National. This is Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. My name is Mitch Nelles, a.k.a. Thunder, in for Steve Sparky Pfeiffer. Today I'm at Stenny's on 2nd and National. The wings are delicious. It's mac and cheese day. The mac and cheese is delicious. Everything's delicious, including the shuttle on the way to the Brewers game. Brewers tonight, originally scheduled Quinn Priester starter. Quinn Priester is not starting tonight. And Charlie Usen's here. And Charlie, I think I have like 6 or 7 different things about the Brewers today.
Yeah.
I feel like we should probably get to them, huh?
Been a little whiplash, it feels like.
Yes, I totally agree. Logan Henderson has been transferred to the 60-day injured list. I'm not necessarily going least important to most important, but I am getting something. That's just one that I'm just getting that one out of the way.
And
Logan, what was that?
I think that with Logan Henderson going to the 60-day IL isn't really, I guess, that big of news to me. It kind of felt like he was trending more towards that way. I know people were saying end of August, but also why even bother bringing him back end of August if you felt like he was going to end up being injured?
So I think, I mean, I guess my hope was that he was hurt in the beginning of August. He'd be ready to pitch at the end of August and be healthy. And then if he's healthy and they could use him out of the pen, I mean, he is a strikeout guy. He's a big arm. He's a big dude. And I feel like, especially now with some of the other news we learned today, like they could really, if Logan Henderson never got hurt and was healthy, like they could really use Logan Henderson right now. But I guess part of Logan Henderson leaving means Eric Fetty has a job. So Eric Fetty, longtime major league starter, signed by the Milwaukee Brewers today and is active tonight. We'll get to that, but signed today. He was, he was released by the Atlanta Braves on the 24th. On July 27th, he was traded by the Cardinals to the Braves for future considerations. Basically, those considerations will now be negligible. I don't think there'll be any considerations there based on 1-2 with an 8.10 ERA in 5 games with the Atlanta Braves. For the season, Eric Fetty is 4-12 with a 5.76 ERA. Last year, he went 9-9 with a 3.30 ERA. He was 7-4 with the White Sox, 3.11, and then went to the Cardinals, was 2-5 with a 3.72 with the Cardinals. In 23, he played in Korea. In 22, from 17 to 22, he played with the Washington Nationals. He had ERAs of 9.39, 5.54, 4.50, 4.29, 5.47, and 5.81. Those last 2 years, 5.47 and 5.81, he was a full-time starter. He went 7-9 and 6-13 in both the years he started 27 games. So for his career, he's 34-54, a 4.97 ERA. Let's see, he's got, where's his strikeout numbers? 582 strikeouts in 756 innings. He's not a guy who gets strikeouts. 303 walks, so he has a worse than 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. This year it's 76-60. Just like, this guy stinks. And the reason why it's relevant, Charlie, he's starting tonight. He's starting for our Milwaukee Brewers tonight. And I know you said Chris Hook. And that is the answer here, right? Chris Hook works magic on many people. I don't think they just signed him today. Maybe they brought him in yesterday. Like, unless Chris Hook found something so obvious and simple in his delivery that it's cured already and he's back to being a sub-4 ERA guy. And listen, if that happens, if he goes 5-6 innings tonight and gives up 1 or 2 runs, like Chris Hook's a genius. And the whole organization. I mean, right? Matt Arnold's a genius. I wouldn't bet on it. So he's pitching tonight, but he's not starting tonight. I may have said that he was starting. He is not starting tonight because there's an opener tonight. Good friend Aaron Ashby will go through the order tonight as the opener. I don't know if that means he faces 9 guys or like if he's 2 2/3 and there's nobody on in the third, like I feel like they let him finish the 3rd inning. I would assume that's the way it works. He is scheduled to go 1 time through the order tonight as the opener. Hopefully that's a clean 3 innings. Eric Fetty that will then fill in. And Eric Fetty does have the ability to throw 80 to 90 pitches. So he could easily go 4 or 5 innings. That'd be nice if that was 6 innings and he was being economical with his pitches and not getting beat up too much. I have a feeling Arizona's the type of team that feasts on Eric Fetty, though, so I don't feel great about that. All of this is happening under the umbrella of Trevor McGill being placed on the 15-day injured list today with a right flexor strain. It's retroactive to 2 days ago. Trevor McGill did meet with the media today and did say he's had flexor strains in the past and that this one it seems a lot less painful, a lot less serious than some of the other ones he's had in the past. So that's happening. Quinn Priester was supposed to start tonight's game. Quinn Priester has a minor right wrist issue. He's tentatively scheduled at this point to start Saturday in Toronto. So skipping Wednesday and then giving him 2 more days, so 3 total days of rest in addition to his 4 normal days. So basically skipping a start. And that would also give them the opportunity to push back Woodruff and some others in their scheduled starts as well. So he's tentatively scheduled to start Saturday in Toronto. We don't know. But the good news that will be happening in Toronto with all these moving parts and challenges that are facing the Milwaukee Brewers pitching staff is that if all goes well in Nashville tonight, Jackson Chourio will join the Brewers in Toronto. They start a 3-game series Friday night in Toronto, and Jackson Chourio would join the team then. Charlie, did I get to all of it?
I think you got through all of it. I think you did a pretty good job there.
414-677-1250 is our Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line. You can text in your thoughts. You can also give us a call. How nervous are you with all the changes happening to the pitching staff right now? And specifically, it's a Trevor McGill question. How nervous are you that things will be status quo, that things will continue to be hunky-dory for the team with the best record in Major League Baseball right now, with their closer, Trevor McGill, on the 15-day injured list, although it's really the 13-day injured list because he's already spent 2 days on it. This is the 3rd day on it. But with him on the injured list, where does your nervousness level reside? 414-677-1250. 414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line. And we had a number of calls earlier in the show, and everyone's nervous. I don't think anyone overreacted. I don't think anyone went nuts. If you're overreacting and you want to share that overreaction with us, you go right ahead. 414-677-1250. I don't think anyone overreacted who called in or who reached out to the show. But I do get the sense that, when it's kind of like at the trade deadline when you get a closer. And now all of a sudden your closer who's just okay gets to move to the 8th inning. And that guy gets to move to the 7th. And the 7th gets to go to long. And everybody's job gets easier. I think the concern here is now everyone's job gets harder. Everyone's job ramps up. When you talk about Abner Uribe, who I was able to pick up in one of my 2 fantasy baseball leagues, and if you do play fantasy baseball, you absolutely should have already picked up Abner Uribe today just by listening to the show. But if you haven't done it yet, go check. He was on a team in one of my other leagues. It's kind of one of those leagues, it's got everybody's on a team. So it wasn't, I don't think somebody beat me to it today. I think that he was already on a team. But in my other league, I did drop Josh Hader for Abner Uribe. Hader's out for the year, so at least out for the regular season. I'm nervous about Uribe. I'm nervous about Shelby Miller. I'm nervous about Jared Koenig. I'm nervous about some of the arms that we've relied so much on. Grant Anderson, that we've seen and are going to be over the next 2 weeks, especially if the Brewers play close games, especially if they're leading late, which has been the case over the past 2 months because they've won a lot of games, so they've been leading in a lot of games. The concern is what's going to happen with those arms. And yes, if McGill comes back healthy, and let's all knock on wood or Formica or whatever we have around, brain, if he comes back, all of a sudden that reverse happens. He makes everybody's job easier. everybody can take it. Hey, we got through these 2 weeks, and we can take a deep breath, a sigh of relief. We can be happy about how this just went. But we gotta get there over the next 2 weeks. We got to get there as Brewers fans. The Brewers got to get there. Pat Murphy's got to get them there. Matt Arnold's got to get them there. Charlie, we got to get there.
It feels like that. Yes, we need to get there. Like you're saying, it needs to be at this point where we feel more confident in this team. But at this point in the season, man, I've been pretty confident in this squad that I think a lot of people, including myself, were not confident in the first month and a half of the season. I was kind of freaking out as a Brewers fan over that first couple months of the season. And now all of a sudden they've changed my mind on everything. Hearing this Trevor McGill news, yeah, it sucks. He's an all-star closer. He's a guy that I want to have on this team as much as possible. But at the same time, what they've been doing has worked. I don't really think there's anything that we need to try to figure out that Pat Murphy and Chris Hook need to try to figure out here. Guys are going to get injured. You're pitching them a lot because your starters aren't going deep. It's a pretty simple kind of problem solution here. And part of it is trying to get those starters to go more deep. But if they're not going to go deep and
newsflash, Charlie, they're not going deeper.
They're not going deeper.
They are who they are.
So I think we also have to sit here and say, you know what? Yeah, these bullpen guys are going to get more run. They are going to continue to be worked and be out there and giving you their all. But at the same time, if a guy gets injured, you can't start freaking out because, again, go back to Chris Hook. We know what he can do with this pitching staff. We know what this team can do with this pitching staff. As long as we have trust and faith in that coaching staff, I think we'll be okay no matter what. And I feel like a lot of fans should be at this point already where I'm at.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the trust level is there, right? You agree? Like the trust level is there.
So. Again, we didn't hear anybody freak out on the phones.
Right. In Hook and in Murphy and in Arnold and in the current pitchers. But I just think that the cause for concern is real and legitimate because it seems like all this is happening like very quickly. Priester's banged up. McGill's on the injured list. Now we might be getting a couple guys back from the injured list sooner than later. And that would be a tremendous help. But there's just, you know what? If this is the stress that comes with being in first place, I'll take it. Right? I'll take the stress. It's worth it. I don't love it. It doesn't make me feel like it's not good for my heart. It's not good for my blood pressure. But if this is the stress that it takes, because we are cheering on a team that has the best record in baseball, that's in first place in the National League Central, first place in the National League, that has a better record than the Chicago Cubs, the Los Angeles Dodgers, and the Philadelphia Phillies, the San Diego Padres, and the New York Mets. Like, I'll take it.
I mean, I'm a Bears fan. The stress that I have right now is that Caleb Williams isn't going to work out. And we're
right. You should have no stress right now. Like, dude, that's the Bears. The Bears stink as usual. Like, and if Caleb Williams ends up being good, like that's all gravy.
That's
you
awesome.
Should be happy.
Yeah, you should be.
But
happy.
there should be no stress because there should be no expectations because you shouldn't have any expectations about Caleb Williams because the Bears are trash.
No, but at the same time, he's a first overall pick, a guy that has been touted as the first true quarterback to be drafted by the Bears. They have Ben Johnson as a head coach now that a lot of people are viewing as one of the better offensive minds in the league. There's expectations there, whether there should be or not, there are. And I think the stresses that come with that, with knowing that you could be back down in the bottom just as fast as you kind of clawed yourself back to not being in the complete bottom at this point, is pretty stressful. I'd rather be stressed that my team is really good at this point and could come down a little bit because the Brewers weren't supposed to be here either. If you talk about no expectations with the Bears, these weren't the expectations for the Milwaukee Brewers at the beginning of the season. Before the season even started, they're already surpassing those expectations. I mean, there shouldn't be stress there either.
I think, it's a good point. I got to think about that. Charlie, when's the last time you ate at a Cracker Barrel?
I can't remember. Like
before
middle school.
Is part of you thinking about eating at a Cracker Barrel now?
Not really. Not at the moment.
So their fake publicity ploy has not worked on you.
I don't think so. I didn't know they had a publicity ploy going.
Well, they changed their logos and people are really mad about it. But like no one's talked about this.
Right.
This is a preview for the next segment and like things we missed. But like nobody's thought about Cracker Barrel in 100 years, and now all of a sudden, like either you're mad about it or like you're saying this is ridiculous, but like it's on people's radars.
I guess that works. I guess whatever to get your name out there.
That's right. Publicity, publicity is publicity sometimes. He's Charlie Usen. My name's Mitch Nelles, a.k.a. Thunder. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's here on 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan, free on the Odyssey app, AUDACY. Today, as part of our travels around southeastern Wisconsin, we are at Stenny's on 2nd and National, where, the wings at Stenny's are always fantastic. Baseball calls for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Crack one open today. Let the good times cruise, Milwaukee. It's real iced tea. It's real vodka. It's smooth. It's easy. Make it happen. Of course, please drink responsibly. We will wrap things up. Things we missed. Tommy, the Superman Wirtz, will be joining the show as well. I just think every time you say his name, you just come up with a new nickname and you make sure none of them stick, because like it has to be a new nickname every time you say his name. Charlie, you got that?
I like it. All right.
Awesome. All right. This is Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's, live on 2nd and National. We're at Stenny's. This is Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. Mitch Thunder Nelles in for Steve Sparky Pfeiffer today and for the rest of the week. We are at Stenny's on 2nd and National. We absolutely love it here. Thanks to our friends from Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. It's refreshingly smooth and easy to drink. Real iced tea, real vodka. Please drink responsibly. It's time for Charlie Things We Missed.
We don't have a sound for this one. This was
I was expecting you to start singing. I was expecting you to start singing Things We Missed here on WSD. I go a little high when I sing. I don't know if that's
you
good
do.
or not.
Initially, right away. I'm joining you here.
Tommy
as well.
Wirtz is here.
Yeah. How you doing, Mitch?
Tommy.
Things we missed. Mitch on vacation last week. Let's start with that.
All right.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So here we go. Ready, Charlie? So we get on the plane. It's a red eye Monday night, 11 o'clock flight. And I noticed when I was checking in that this guy was like being abusive to the woman behind the desk. He was on he was an older gentleman on a scooter. It was just like yelling at her. It was something like the scooter wasn't registered on his ticket, or like they just had to sign him in. And he was like, "Oh, I did all this," and so he's like yelling at her and telling her she's an idiot. Then I get to the gate and I'm gate checking my luggage, and I see him there again, and he's like the nicest person you've ever met in your entire life. Like, "Hey, what time can I board? Like, are we all good with the scooter?" They're like, "Yeah, everything's great. We'll see you in 7 minutes. It's fine." He's like, "Great, thanks so much." He backs out, like he says, "Excuse me" to people. So then we get on the flight, and we're on the flight, and all I want to do is fall asleep. It's 11 o'clock. We land at 3:15 San Francisco time, 5:15 a.m. O'Hare time. All I want to do is fall asleep. And finally, like 40 minutes in, I hear yelling from the first class cabin. And it's this guy yelling with like all three flight attendants. Like, they're like, "Sir, you have to sit down." He's like, "No, I have to stand right here." "No, sir, you have to go." They're just like screaming at each other. And finally, from what I heard, was like he had fallen asleep or passed out right when he got on the plane. He woke up. He was super disoriented. They tried to get him to calm down. They couldn't. And then he went and stood by the cockpit and like was by the bathroom. They're like, "Sir, do you need the bathroom?" He's like, "No, this is where I need to stand." Like he literally said that to them. That's what they told me. And like wouldn't leave. And they're like, "Sir, we're going to need to turn the plane around. Like you can't stand at the cockpit on a flight. Like you just can't." "Well, this is where I need to be." So they turn the plane around. And then like for the last 20 minutes, as we're flying back to San Francisco, he's just sat in his seat and was as quiet as could be.
God.
And then the cops come on and he's like the guy next to him is helping get his bags. And he's like as helpful as possible. Like doesn't fight, doesn't argue, doesn't say a thing. And I'm like, so I'm mad at him, but I'm also kind of like frustrated with the flight attendants that like if they could have calmed him down like this, why couldn't we just calm him down and just fly to Chicago?
Right.
Why do we have to go back to San Francisco? So then everything gets delayed. So then they have to reweigh the plane, redo the gas, redo all the inspections. So we were 3.5 hours late getting into Chicago. Everybody who was like connecting from yesterday morning to go to like Boston and New York and out to the East Coast, everybody missed their connections. Thankfully, we just got in our car and drove home, but man, I need a nap.
Yeah.
That's what you missed.
Don't be that guy. That's what it sounds like, right? Just don't be that guy, and you'll be all
as angry as you are, and as much as you think the universe is against you. Like, figure out a way to lead with kindness.
Mitch, did you clean up the vomit that was here? I thought I would have thought with Eric Fetty news that it would have been all over the place.
No, I did not.
That was kind of a shock today, huh?
Yeah, except apparently Drew Wagner, who texted us and said he called it. I didn't see that the Braves released him. You know what? It's funny though. When Eric Fetty was pitching against the Brewers, I turned to Mrs. Thunder I said, "Fetty's the kind of guy that if Chris Hook could have gotten him like 10 years ago, like I feel like he could have fixed Eric Fetty." I said that. You can ask her because we were watching the game, and I said that. But now he's been in Washington forever, and he's been kind of a bum. And he was okay last year, but he's been terrible this year. Like St. Louis gave him away for nothing. And now he's pitching meaningful innings tonight for our Milwaukee Brewers.
Are they really meaningful? I mean, they had the series clinched up. They got a game again on Chicago yesterday. Like, slow down a little bit. The team has a lot of guys that can come out of the pen, a little bit less now too. But I'm not too worried about it. And would you be surprised if Chris Hook changes Eric Fetty either at this point?
Well, that's
like, what if Eric Fetty comes out and he's good?
Charlie said it. Charlie,
Chris Hook.
Yeah, like
take credit, man. Chris Hook.
I understand
Chris Hook doing
that
Chris Hook things.
the
Right?
numbers don't look great this year, but to be honest, if the guy comes out and has a sub-2 ERA in 13 innings this year, like, is anyone going to be shocked at this point? No, it's not.
From your mouth to God's ears. That's all I'm going to say about Eric Fetty. I don't feel good about it. All right, anything we missed? Charlie, so did you not hear about this Cracker Barrel thing at all?
I haven't, no.
Wow,
I guess I'm not an avid Cracker Barrel enjoyer.
I mean, or social media or Earth.
It was pretty big on
Just
Twitter.
say I don't live on Earth.
I don't live on Earth, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
done. Nice.
You had asked the last time that Charlie ate at a Cracker Barrel. I'm going to say I've been there once, maybe twice my whole life.
Okay.
I think there's one as you're approaching the Illinois border, right? Somewhere
sure
over there.
Yeah.
But they're not really much more north than that, I feel like. I haven't seen them very often. I like your idea, though, that it was just a ploy to get attention on Cracker Barrel in general.
Right. If that's what it was, it worked.
It did, yeah.
Everybody's talking about Cracker Barrel right now.
Yeah.
And I haven't been in forever, but I've always loved the meal I've had there. And I don't care what their logo is.
Restaurant, didn't they have the peg game, too, where you jump over?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I definitely stole one of those back when I was in my youth. Yeah. So that shout out
chicken
to Cracker
fried
Barrel.
Chicken. Man, if you can't get down with chicken fried chicken, I don't know what you're getting down with.
Mitch, how was it feeling for Spark today?
It was great, I think. I don't know. Like, I just show up, and when I'm not on vacation, I just talk into a microphone.
Okay, yeah.
That's like, you tell me what time. I don't even know what time anymore. I don't know if we have breaking news. I don't think we do.
No.
But we're going to have fun.
Oh, yeah.
No matter what time of the day we're on, we're going to have fun with a microphone. Fair?
Fair enough.
Charlie, can you turn this up a little bit? I just want to bang. Like, I know we're not ready to leave yet. I just want to rock out to it, though.
Yeah. Leadoff show coming up next.
You excited for Nick Neiman?
Oh, yeah.
Is that your guy?
Exactly.
Yeah, special teams contributor. Nick Neiman is a Green Bay Packer. Micah is not, regardless of last name, Micah is not a Green Bay Packer. The leadoff show with Tommy Wirtz is coming up next year on 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan, free on the Odyssey, iHeart apps, wherever you get your podcast. Remember, shout out, want to thank our friends at Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Crack one open today. Let the good times cruise, Milwaukee. Please drink responsibly. We're at Stenny's on 2nd and National until 6:30. Tommy bringing it and just having so much fun. Charlie, great job as always. I'll see everybody tomorrow morning with the Mason Crosby Show. We'll do it again tomorrow. Then we'll do this again tomorrow. We're doing everything again tomorrow. This has been Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's.